There, welcome back to AskAmy. I've gotten a lot of questions this week about things going on in the world that kind of hit from a few different angles, from how do I stay informed, because that feels like the thing to do without getting so sucked into imagery and anxiety, to all kinds of aspects of just what's going on, and several questions around like, how do we make sense of this? Which I have no clue. I don't think we do make sense of this, but I'm going to read one of these questions from Kika, who's a longtime student and listener, because I think it probably encapsulates what a lot of these are speaking to. So Kika says, I am in Israel this week visiting my mother, as just a week ago we woke up to one of the most horrific massacres Jews have ever experienced. As I'm here trying to support my community and myself, I'm having an immense trouble using this understanding to make sense of decapitated babies, abducted, raped, and murdered children, women, men, all of it. I would love it if you could shed a light on how such experience and tragedy can be seen through your teaching. So first, obviously, Kika, I'm so sorry for what you're going through, what everyone's going through. And I totally get, I think we all totally get the mind wanting to make sense of this and place anything we experience in life, but especially something like this, within an understanding. You know, we want to see it in some context. There's such a massive drive to understand and make sense of and have some logic around things. And I think a lot of that is probably just a biological survival drive. You know, on some level it really looks like, if we can make sense of what's happening, if we can see, oh, here's why some people survive and some don't. Here's why horrible things happen, and here's why sometimes really beautiful things happen. I know I've felt this so many times. It just feels like it gives your mind a roadmap. Like, okay, I got this. We have some place to go. We have some sense of control here. So I think to just recognize that of course, when things are hard, that just kicks into overdrive. It is just this survival mechanism of the mind to make sense of and understand so that it can control. And yet, you know, we know that things are not understandable. Like there's so much in life. Honestly, maybe everything in life is completely beyond our comprehension. Don't you get the sense sometimes that you feel like you understand something, and it brings such this sense of safety and security, but that doesn't mean you really understand anything. That's just one of the experiences that shows up at times. So, you know, what if everything truly is beyond understanding, beyond comprehension? But the positive in that, like the flip side in that, is that what if we don't need to understand? Again, if this is just a mind doing what it does, especially when it feels insecure and survival is at stake, all of this energy going toward understanding, it really starts to look like there's something in that understanding for us, that it actually is necessary or safer. But what if it isn't? Really, what if this is just that biological kind of mechanism at play, and there is no understanding, and there is no safety in understanding, and maybe there even is no peace in understanding. There's a peace that is beyond understanding, that is available. And I know you felt this, Kika. I know we all have. That's something to be curious about. I mean, it's okay if you don't have it in you to be curious about that right this minute, but truly, I mean, that is something to be so curious about. How is it that even in the middle of what you are in the middle of, even in the midst of all of that, there's you writing this question and sending an email. There's you waking up every day. There's you doing the things that need to be done. There's you, as you say, supporting your family and your community. Like, how the hell does that happen? How do you have that? How are you doing that, Kika? How are you supporting people and supporting yourself and wanting to make sense of this? There's so much that we can call resilience or love or connection that comes up, especially in times like this. And of course, like it's easy to overlook that, and our attention gets shoved into what looks so much more dramatic and scary. But I don't know, to just kind of back up when you can and kind of look at the whole range of what's here and what's arising, and knowing that none of it is understandable necessarily. None of it is predictable. None of it has any security built into it. Nothing is secure. Our physical safety is not secure. Nothing is knowable and known in that way, but maybe there's some kind of peace or relief or something in not trying to make it that. Because again, I think that's just what mind does. It wants to secure everything, even in good times. It wants to secure everything. Who you are, how things go for you, what's coming down the pipe. Like, it's constantly doing that. And especially when things are feeling particularly insecure and unknowable. So maybe just that securing function that the mind is constantly doing, there's just something in seeing like that that's not going to be satisfied. There is nothing that can be known or secured, perhaps, but there's nothing that needs to be. Like, there is a peace here. There is so much going on that's coexisting with everything else that's going on. And maybe if we're not trying to understand it, but there's like almost a falling back into, or a surrender into, like, hey, I have no clue what's going to happen. But look, I'm here. I'm alive. I'm doing things. Many other people are as well. So much is going on that can't wrap our minds around, but maybe we don't have to. So sending you so much love, Kika. I hope something in this is helpful, and it's okay if it's not. But to everyone who sent questions around this week, I think there's just so much, and just not knowing and not needing to know. So thanks so much for sending your question, sending you a lot of love. I'll see you guys next week.